other days in the week. All right. Welcome to another episode of PEDs Podcast. We're at episode 9 here. I'm Cooper Williams. Got my beautiful host here with me, Lucas Wilson. We got NFL episode here recapping week 4. It was a pretty good week, I think. You know, that Bucs-Pats game, the expectations, just the hype for that game was through the roof, almost so much that it couldn't live up to those expectations, and it didn't. The rain had a factor. It was just kind of a boring game, but at least we got that, last drive kind of feeling. And I just kind of am questioning the GOAT in Belichick on kicking 56 yards in the rain. You make it, you got a minute left still, and Tom has the ball with 2 timeouts. You have 4th and 3. I mean, Mac Jones looked good the whole game. He had a streak of, 19 completions in a row at one point. I didn't understand kicking it. Obviously, it's revisionist history because he missed it, but I would have definitely gone for it. And, you get it, you can run that clock down to 1, you kick the field goal, and it's win or lose there instead of you make the field goal with a minute left and Tom has a minute to go drive 30 yards, and I'm putting my money on Tom in that situation. So I just didn't understand that. What is your recap on that game?
Well, I shut it off after halftime because the game fucking sucked.
Fair enough.
But, yeah, dude, it was just so many expectations going into that game. Such high hype, like you said. I was expecting, the Bucs to just completely blow out the Pats. Mm-hmm. I had the -7 in the spread. It cost me some money. Very, very heartbreaking to see.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I give it up to the Pats, though. They were in there pretty much the whole game.
Yeah.
They stayed in it. And I'm impressed with Mac Jones. He didn't play a stellar game, but, I think he's showing out to be a good game manager.
Yeah. With all the storylines going into it, right? It's all Brady, Belichick, even Robert Kraft. Sucked not having Gronk in that game too. But, Mac Jones going into the game was kind of just an afterthought, right? And I think when we look back on this game, I think he was the most impressive, or just had leaving that game, he probably felt the best. Even though he lost, right? Nobody's necessarily happy with moral victories, especially Belichick, but if I'm Mac Jones going home that night, dude, I was fucking toe-to-toe with him. I had a chance. So, I was just impressed with him. I think the weather definitely hurt the Bucs' chances of even just throwing deep at all, but we kind of saw a different game plan after their loss to the Rams. They fed the ball to Fournette, gave him 20 carries, 90 yards, it was a different game plan for sure, and probably weather had an impact on that, but, they got to win. I just didn't understand Belichick. You coach Brady for how many years, and you're going to try to kick a field goal and give it back to him with a minute? I don't care if it's raining. I'm not giving the ball back to Brady with a minute. What are we doing?
I think he was trying to play some reverse psychology.
I don't know. Did you hear his interview after the game? A reporter asked him a perfectly logical question. Did you think about going for it or whatever? And he said, basically in his, it wasn't really a decision there. He did one of those, dude. He was he's not going to tell us I was wrong, I wish I did this, we're not going to get that out of him, but I don't know. I wouldn't have done it. And even if he made the field goal, it just didn't make much sense to me. But, yeah, it was a good-ish game. Definitely did not live up to the hype.
I wouldn't even say good-ish game, to be honest.
Well, especially if you just watched the first half. It wasn't interesting.
Dude, there's just too much hype built up. You come out, you get Adele. Dude, fucking Adele. And you get a whole promo video, and you're just airing that shit live every night, every week. Or every night for that week leading up to the game, dude. I was getting so hyped up, dude. I was just ready to run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, dude, Brady's going to just fuck on the Pats. I'm about to win me some money. And just none of that happens.
Yeah. The Pats are a good team, too. The record's not showing it right now. But, I don't know. The only one that lost there, I think, is Belichick. Obviously, Brady gets the win. Mac Jones played really, really well. Looked comfortable, too, which is just, I think we've talked about it with the rookie QBs before. That's kind of just what I'm looking for in them, Do they look comfortable in there, or are they frantic and just making poor decisions? I thought he looked well, but yeah. So, all right, let's move on. We got Cardinals 4-0 start. Are they for real?
No.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, they look legit, dude. Yeah. I mean, their defense is looking nice, a lot better than last year, especially the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray's legit. I mean, I said in the last NFL episode when Joey was here that I think when it's all said and done, I think Kyler's going to be better than Russ.
Okay, yeah. That's a reach, but it's not crazy. It's just early, that's all.
I know it's early.
Yeah,
it's my hot take. But, yeah, I think they're for real. Like, there's so much talent on that team, and at the end of the day, I think the only thing that's going to hold them back is Cliff.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really impressive performance. I didn't get to watch the game, just the recap of it. They also kind of changed the game plan, ran it all over the Rams, which I was just really shocked about. I didn't see that happening. Very, very, very few people probably had the Cards winning this game.
Yeah, I had money on the Rams. Another team.
Yeah, I would have put money on them too. I mean, you give Chase Edmonds, who's electric, you give him 120 yards rushing. I mean, really, I think that's probably his best game of his career. On only 12 carries. That's pretty high yards per carry there. It's going to be on Cliff. They very easily, they should be 3-1, right? Vikings missed that field goal, a chip shot to win it. So, coulda, shoulda, woulda. They're sitting at 4-0 right now, looking good in a division that is the toughest division in football. And you beat the team that everybody thinks is the team to beat in that division. Didn't they beat them in LA too? Or am I?
Yeah, they're on the road.
Like, in that stadium with all those fans, it's not like it was a Chargers game where the Raiders were basically the home team, you know?
Dude, towards the end of the game when it was a blowout, there was pictures being posted of the Rams stadium, and the seats were just empty. There's no one there.
Like it was COVID year?
I think the only person left in the stands was Jake Soff, buddy, who was there watching the game.
Yeah, well, we're both living in Arizona. We're not really Arizona fans, but it's, it's exciting to see it happen.
1-3, baby.
Colts?
Yeah.
Bears are 2-2. First, I know we're not talking about them, but did you see some of these Justin Fields throws?
Dude, I didn't wake up till like 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, I was coaching baseball and didn't really get to watch the full game. I just caught highlights of most of these games, but man, you give Fields some time and crazy. Shit. He gets a few seconds to throw the ball. You get a few seconds to get Mooney downfield and actually use the guy that you drafted him for the reason that you drafted him. Nuts. He didn't, have an incredible stat line. He just made a few throws where as a fan you just get excited and you're like, there's the hope I'm looking for. When we have one net yard for the entire fucking game, that's absolutely depressing. But this game, is against the Lions, so only so much we can talk about here. But if you would have asked me going into the week who's going to win this game, I honestly would have said Lions. Just based off of their first 3 games and how tight they all were, how good they looked throughout the entirety of the game. I was actually shocked that my Bears won.
I had money in the Lions, too.
Tough week for Lucas, although he did beat me in fantasy, and we'll talk about that next episode. Yes. I'll give him a few minutes to roast me, deservingly so, because I talked a lot of shit.
Yeah.
All right.
But, before we move on, I just want to say some of the stuff you were saying about the Bears this weekend and the GC was kind of questioning your sexuality.
Oh my God. I get ahead of myself with Fields.
Yeah.
This guy was getting a hard on when they traded for Wentz, and little did he know he was.
Dude, I love you some Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Ed Sheeran breaking people's ankles with a bat? That dude bring the training staff from Philly with him, or what?
Possibly.
God, man. Colts got to win. Colts got to win, which I was actually really surprised. Like, not really surprised because it's the Dolphins with Brissett, but I really thought Dolphins were just going to take that one. All right, let's get back on track. Burrow versus Lawrence, Thursday night game. Bengals win with the last-second field goal. Urban Meyer said, fuck it, I'm going out to the club. Said I haven't lost 4 games in 10 years. But yeah, we'll talk Burrow Lawrence. Just my opinion, and I mean it's not a hot take by any means. Burrow is just right now a better quarterback who's on a better team with more talent, with you could argue a better coaching staff, a more secure coaching staff. really close game, which I was actually shocked about. Lawrence did a good enough job to keep it close, but Burrow was just a little bit more, I don't know if the word is confident. That's probably it, honestly.
He's not a rookie, though.
Yeah.
So, he has a little bit more experience than Lawrence. But, Lawrence was playing pretty damn good. Like, that first half when they're up 21-0, I was like, damn, okay, maybe they're really starting to turn things around. Maybe, Lawrence is, putting it all together. And then they come back and, what was it, final score, 24-21?
Yeah, or 27-24 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Urban, it's not looking good.
He was already planning his trip to the club at halftime.
So
boys, we celebrate. Let's go.
Said win or lose, we're going. Dude, Urban's losing. We've seen quotes from players. I don't know how accurate it is or if they're even real, but it's not good. You got players saying he had very little credibility to begin with, and he has none now. He canceled their Monday meeting yesterday after their game, or their Monday meeting after the week's game, and the players just not buying in. It's just a whole different game than college.
Isn't he married?
I think so.
Wow, it's not a good look.
I don't think that was his wife.
Yeah, dude, that video was so awkward, bro.
You could tell man was in his feels and was literally trying. It was like a college quarterback who just lost a game, like a single college quarterback who just lost a game in a fucking mid-major rivalry or some shit. He was just down and depressed, like his dog just got killed.
He looked like a little kid trying to hide his boner in class. It was
so weird. You could tell he was drunk. You could tell he was depressed, and you could tell he was caught in a bad situation. You were like, oh, you could just see it, and he knew. But it's so much different in college. You don't have total autonomy like he did at Ohio State. You don't get to recruit all the 5-star kids that you want. You suck. You're on a team that sucks. There's a reason you have the quarterback you do. You guys suck. So he's a control freak who is spiraling. In my opinion, I don't think this works well. We'll see if he makes it through the end of the season. Yeah.
So between him telling Vic Fangio before their matchup that the NFL is facing Alabama every week.
Yeah.
And then this video that's getting surfaced where he's ready to risk it all with some girls, probably not even 20. How much farther do you think he goes until they just give him the axe?
I would be very surprised if he finished the year. I really would. Like you said when he told Vic Fangio, what were you expecting?
Yeah.
Who did you think you were coming into a good roster? It's not this is comparable to him going to fucking Boise State and just expecting to win right now.
Just you get a natty first year.
Who do you think where do you think you're going? This isn't Trevor Lawrence is gonna save you because it's college and you're playing in the ACC. This isn't that. You need a full complete team. You need them to buy into you, and he has not done that in the slightest. And that's what's gonna ultimately bite him in the ass. We'll see.
He gave him week 10 the latest.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is it for him, because I don't know if he wants to go back to college because he's had health issues. This isn't helping his health issues, I don't think.
Dude, he needs to go to marriage counseling.
He needs...
College is not the answer, bro.
Yeah, it's not looking hot for him. All right. I think that's enough Jacksonville talk.
Yeah.
So now let's get into the teams that, we think are here to stay. Who do you have for, I don't know, it doesn't have to be a surprise team that was kind of on the border whether or not they were going to be a playoff team or not this year. Who do you think is here to stay?
The Bengals.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to say Cowboys.
Just lost to the Bears, by the way, not too long ago.
I don't think they're going to go all the way this year, but I think their team is getting better and better every year.
Yeah.
Plus, they're like Burrow, especially after that huge comeback in Thursday night's game. I just think that they're slowly putting it all together. And I think that they could be probably the top team in their division within the year or two.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying
tough division
for this year that they're the team for their division and they're going to come out and win a Super Bowl, but I like what they've been doing.
The next few years?
Yeah.
Kind of? Okay. All right. Yeah, they're definitely on the up from what was tanking, right? So
my original team was the same team as you had, but I don't want to go the same team.
Yeah, so okay, mine's the Cowboys. I picked Dak as comeback player of the year. I picked him as MVP. The thing that scares me with the Cowboys is Mike McCarthy and a little bit their defense. What his led me to even choosing them as the team that I think is here to stay is their defense. You got Diggs, who's I'm questionable to say. People are all Cowboy fans want to say is the best corner in the league. I don't know if they remember this guy, Jalen Ramsey, still exists, but legit corner, real legit corner, and he's young.
I got money on him to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Diggs?
Yeah.
You put money on him?
Yeah.
But you didn't put him in. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Micah Parsons, they've got him playing the end, which allows Jalen Smith, the guy who's been really disappointing the past 2 years, to get back in middle linebacker, and he's stepped it up. Parsons hasn't played DN since high school, and then he gets put back there in the NFL, and he's dominating. So that defense is really helping out their offense. Their offense there, Zeke looks a little bit revitalized, like, oh, crazy, how about we have our 2 Hall of Fame linemen back in there, and he looks a little better.
So stupid.
Weird how that works, yeah. Lucas is down a little bit bad. He traded him fantasy 2 weeks ago. But yeah, they got a good running game with Pollard and Zeke. Their O-line's healthy enough right now. They have obviously tons of weapons, and Dak is the real deal. They're my team that's here to stay. They're in a division that, they may as well not even play division games. They're just going to tear it up. But yeah, McCarthy scares me a little, but I think that's a really, really, really good team. I think if they were to play the Bucs again right now, they'd beat them. Yeah. They're going to be exciting, and they're always fun to watch with that offense. It's just so explosive, and yeah.
Actually, I'll throw another team out there. I'll say the Chargers.
That's a good choice.
Chargers are looking legit.
They're a really fun team to watch.
Yeah,
man.
I think they actually might win the division this year.
Yeah, and it's fantasy, but I chose Eckler as a bust, right? Solely based off his injury last year. Didn't think they were going to feed him the way they have been. And my goodness, did he have a game this week?
Dude, he got hurt first drive.
Yeah, and he came back and still reached over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
So when I saw he got hurt, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought, because I'm pretty sure it was a pretty brutal hamstring injury that kept him out almost the whole season last year.
Yeah, the muscle came off the bone or some shit.
Yeah, and this kid is a freak athlete. They talk about, what is it, the freaking just...
You know what his nickname is? P for P. Or PFP.
Pound for pound.
Yeah,
that's what, yeah.
PFP.
He's pound for pound one of the strongest dudes in the NFL. Little ass guy. Shifty, quick, great receiving back. They have great weapons in Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. They have a really good tight end in Jared Cook. Their defense has been the question, right? Are they going to stay healthy? Is Derwin James going to stay healthy? They have been. Their coach, I think, is going to get Coach of the Year. And Brandon Staley. It's a really, really good team. They're fun to watch, too. And
And I love Herbert, dude.
A year ago, even 2 years ago, who would have said that division is up for grabs with the Chiefs in there, man? I mean, that is it's quietly one of the best divisions of football, if not the best, honestly, with the way the Seahawks have been playing. That kind of, and the Niners, I don't know. I don't know if that's as tough as a division right now. But, yeah, Chargers are a legit team. All right, let's get to...
Actually, since we were talking about Eckler, he was undrafted, right?
Yeah.
Undrafted out of a D2 school.
Yeah.
So I just want to touch on this real quick.
Colorado or some shit, yeah.
Teams drafting running backs in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to stop.
I think we've talked about it before, man. Like, what the fuck, Steelers?
Yeah, like, dude.
Yeah. You think Najee Harris is what you needed?
Yeah, there's so much running back talent later, and even, like, hidden gems that you can find.
Yeah.
Like, you need to build up front. Like, if you have just a dog shit O-line, your running back is not going to fix. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have a good D-line. You can't put pressure on guys. You're going to get torn up on defense.
Yeah.
You don't have an O-line. You can't run the ball. You can't get anything started.
You can't even pass.
Yeah. You have to have good O-line and D-line for your team to be successful.
Yeah. D-line causes pressure, so it makes the secondary look better.
Yeah.
O-line just makes you be able to, like,
it's the
facilitate plays.
Unsung heroes, dude. Yeah. They don't. It's like the placeholder for the fucking 60-yard field goal that wins the game. Nobody cares about that guy.
You see what Jadeveon Clowney said about offensive guards like a few weeks ago?
He was what I vaguely remember.
I don't even consider them athletes.
Yeah, and then Quentin Nelson messed him up, right?
Yeah, like a year ago or some shit.
Yeah.
He pancaked his ass.
Yeah, it's a lot of talk for a guy who's supposed to be the best of all time, and just, in my opinion,
gets like 4 sacks a year.
Yeah, he has 4 sacks in a career. All right, let's just we'll move on to the teams that we think should be tanking, and it's kind of just an add-on to what you just brought up about the running backs. The 2 teams I have, Giants, Steelers, Saquon and Najee just happen to be both first-round picks that are awesome talents. They didn't need those. Those were not at the top of their needs. These 2 teams are not looking good. I know the Giants just pulled off a very odd and surprising win against the Giants, or against the Saints, which make me question the Saints, honestly, more than anything. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's the NFL. The Saints beat the Packers by 30-something in week 1, and then they're losing the Giants in week 4. I don't get it. Giants should not. I mean, I don't think Daniel Jones is the answer. I think the kid's got a little bit of talent. He just turns the ball over too much. They need work on their O-line desperately. They need a better defense. Yeah, they're not looking good. I don't know.
Little fun fact: Daniel Jones is the second highest PFF grade this far in the season.
Really?
Is quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So I don't think it's him. I think it's a supporting cast.
Yeah, he's better than what he gets credit for. That's for sure. But he's got talent on offense. They need.
But the O-line.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. So
start with the O-line.
There needs to be some sort of start over.
And plus, two of his top receivers are hurt right now.
They have
Slade
so
and
many.
Shepard.
But they still have Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney that they took first.
Kadarius Toney's looking nice.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram, is done. He's a bust. We don't care about him anymore. He was a huge letdown. But they still have weapons, right? Barkley's also a really good receiving back. They have weapons. They obviously need to boost offensive line and defense. But Daniel Jones, as much as I want to say it's not all on him, you can't turn the ball over like Jameis Winston does. It kills you guys, and it just seems to keep happening. I don't know.
His TD interception ratio this year is at 4-1.
I mean, his fumbles are huge as well.
Well,
he doesn't protect the ball very well.
I mean, yeah, you have to protect the ball when
just historically,
so much.
He has done better this year than he has previously. It just doesn't seem like they're going anywhere with what they have. A few years ago they take Barkley with what was it, 2nd overall or something insanely high, and for why?
I mean, if
he's been healthy.
Let's say you already have a great O-line, great defensive line.
Yeah. If you're that piece away, right?
And you have the franchise quarterback, but he was hurt that year, so that's why you finished a top 3 pick. If there's a generational running back talent there, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm all
if the Niners already had their QB type of thing.
Yeah. Dude, Trey Lance, he actually was looking pretty saucy.
Yeah.
I was watching his highlights.
Yeah.
I mean, those completion percentage was only 50%. But
he could have closed his eyes and thrown that ball to Deebo Samuel when he was that wide open. But, yeah.
Yeah. Seattle's got to fix their secondary.
Tough.
Yeah.
But then I got Steelers. They're all the reasons I just said for the Giants are amplified for the Steelers. Because, and it's hard,
Big Ben is washed, too.
He's holding them back. That's obvious, right? But their defense is Super Bowl ready.
Dude, their defense is so good, and they're so young.
It's Super Bowl ready, dude. And last year, what was their problem? O-line. They got worse. I
wouldn't say
two of their guys retired.
O-line. I wouldn't say last year was their problem in O-line. It was quarterback. Big Ben was hurt, so
last year they were rushing for about 3.6 a carry.
Because they had no quarterback. When you don't have any passing game, you're not going to have any running game because you just stack the box.
Big Ben actually did well last year.
I thought he was hurt last year. Was that the year before?
No, it must have been the year before, yeah. He actually did well last year. So last year was the year of Deontay Johnson Butterfinger's season. That was last year. That guy's incredibly talented. He just needed to hang on to the ball.
He's picking up this year, dude.
Yeah. But, last year their problem was, in their minds, we can't run the ball, so let's go get a running back. Well, guess what? Their yards per carry is even lower. It's 3.2 right now. They haven't improved because they got Najee Harris. You can't be targeting your running back 19 times a game in a passing game. That is not okay. Obviously, that's partly Big Ben not being able to do much because he's just done. But your issue is running, and you lose 2 of your offensive linemen, and you draft a running back. Who isn't and they are historically a great drafting team. Them and the Steelers are some of the best. It just doesn't make sense to me. The front office has historically been wonderful for them. I mean, they have a Hall of Fame coach, a great coach. I don't understand. They either should have taken a quarterback or an offensive lineman or both. I don't understand going Najee Harris, who's a really good talent, could go down as a great running back, possibly if he's in a good spot. I don't know. And it's tough to tank when you have a defense that good. Their defense is better than the Bears has been the past few years, and that's just how I felt as a Bears fan, right? I don't want to tank because our defense is good. but we kind of need to get that quarterback. Like, they're in a tough situation right now. Yeah. Who do you have? Do you have a team that you think should be tanking?
The Falcons.
Yeah.
It's just nothing going good for that franchise, dude. Their defense is horrendous. Matt Ryan is just, he's at the end of his career. I mean, I was watching a highlight where he literally put he crow hop, put everything he had to a deep ball to Calvin Ridley. It didn't even go 40 yards. Like, Ridley had to stop in his tracks and come back and try to get the ball.
Yeah.
Like, they need a QB, need a running back. Mike Davis is not it.
Yeah.
They need better weapons on defense, and then they need a better O-line.
Yeah.
Like, all around, it's just...
I don't know how the coach is going to last there. I mean...
And it sucks, too, because honestly, I'm not a fan of any of the quarterbacks coming out in this draft this year.
We'll see.
I mean, it's early to tell, but it's just...
Rattler is going to be tough. That we'll see him slide down.
I think he's so overrated.
He's going to slide down the draft. I mean, Sam Howell out of North Carolina is good. Malik something, I think Willis or something out of Liberty, he's going to be really good. Nobody knew who the hell Joe Burrow was.
That's true.
I mean,
but
nobody knew who Zach Wilson was.
He had the best offensive season ever, or quarterback season in college. So that's a little bit of a different story.
And that was my only question is, why is this the only time he's done it? You know, and you give him Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Well, I could throw right-handed and do half as good as he did, right? So that was my only worry, but he has trumped that worry. You know, he's just so confident, and it's something you can't measure, but that's part of why he is so good. But yeah, I agree with you on the Falcons, man. It's ever since 28-3, it's just been nothing but confusion and what is going on with us. Like, I don't think they know what's going on. And I love Matty Ice, former MVP, got them to a Super Bowl, had the 28-3 fucking lead.
Defense choked it.
And it has been downhill. Well, and offensive coordinating. I mean, you start playing safe, and all of a sudden you got a ball game on your hands, and you guys kind of are panicking. So, but yeah, the Falcons, dude. Do you think they regret taking Pitts instead of Fields or Mac Jones or anybody else that was left there? Do you think they regret that?
Yeah.
Big time,
honestly,
right?
I probably would have traded back.
Because, you know, like you just said, the names aren't as big for QBs this year, but while I still think there'll be guys there, I don't think they'll be better than what they were last year. I don't think anybody that's going to pop up that's better than what Fields was as a prospect.
Yeah. I guess just because this past year's draft, like, the QBs that were coming out were so, like, highly anticipated and so hyped up that the ones coming out this draft, you just haven't really heard that much about them compared to the ones last year.
Well, everybody wants the QB that has the potential. It's like the less you know about him, the better. Like, that's what the Bears took Trubisky. Oh, here's Deshaun Watson. He just led his college team to a national championship over the perennial powerhouse Alabama. Let's take this guy who's played 12 games. I
mean, to be fair, it was kind of smart you guys didn't draft him now. So.
I mean, who knows? We may have had a Super Bowl, so I would have taken it. I would have taken it. Are you kidding me? And we probably would have given him I don't care. The Cubs won their fucking World Series, dude. I'm good for a while. I don't care. Yeah, but if I'm the Falcons, how are you not taking Fields, man? How are you not... You finished poorly the past 2 seasons. You're in a spot where the guy is in your lap who was the number 2 prospect at quarterback, would have been a number 1 prospect in any other season if Trevor Lawrence wasn't in his class. Right? I mean...
Didn't he want to go to the Falcons because he's from Georgia or something like that?
I don't know if he said that, but I'm sure that's what he thought. If I'm him, I would have. Yeah, I mean, because he went to Georgia, you know, out of high school, and then their dumbass, Kirby Smart, I think, the head coach, right? Yeah, we're going to stick with Jake Fromm. See you, Justin. Dumbass. Yeah, I don't know how you don't take him, man. Pitts is a wonderful talent. I just don't.
I would have traded back and just got more picks. Cause
I would have traded. You could have traded back and still drafted Fields. Like, it didn't make...
I bet the Bears would have drafted up if that was the case, to be
traded
honest.
Up. Well, they did trade up. I think they were like 20 or something, and then they traded up to 11.
The Bears weren't... Did they even make playoffs last year?
Yeah, remember, they went 8-8, made the playoffs because the Cardinals lost on the last week. So while their record wasn't good, they still had a worse pick because they made playoffs. So they had to trade up a decent amount to get them. The Falcons could have traded down, still got a quarterback and more draft capital, which only means something if you draft well, but still, yeah, they're in a tough spot.
Yeah. One last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which team should be worrying right now? I say Titans.
Titans.
You just lose to the worst team in the league. Arguably.
I was gonna say Colts, but their season is
okay.
No, I'm not trying to just be a dick. Like their season's kind of done. I mean,
actually, no, I don't think so. After the way the Titans played this past week, I mean, I know your 2-star receivers are hurt, but I mean, come on, dude, it's the Jets, and you go to
Henry's
overtime with them
rushing for 130 yards, and you still lose.
Yeah, and you go to overtime, and you're in your own red zone. All you need is a touchdown to seal the deal, and you can't even do that.
Yeah, I would. Honestly, I would say Seahawks.
So what are they, 2-2 now? Colts are 1-3, so I think Colts are definitely still in the question.
I'm just worried if I'm a Colts fan because it hasn't looked good.
It's been getting better.
I don't care about it. What other people are doing. If I'm a Colts fan, like it's not looking.
No,
great.
It hasn't been pretty, but I mean,
you guys are in a division where it's kind of up for grabs. Yeah, honestly, it's not a good division. Yeah.
So the Titans should be worried.
Yeah, I would be really worried if I was the Seahawks, because that's a division where you do have to worry about other teams.
Oh yeah.
You have to, and you get off to a slow start in that division, it's almost as good as done. I mean, really, I think they got the Cardinals coming up this week. If they lose that puts them at like 1-4. Seahawks 1-4.
Yeah.
Would not have expected that. I mean, we'll see what happens. I never count out Russ, but that's something to be worried about. Definitely. Yeah. All right. I think we covered about everything there.
Yeah. So that concludes our episode 9 NFL edition.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget to leave a bet in the comments. Send us proof of you liking and subscribing. We took 2 last week. Both did not hit, so we're down pretty bad. But I mean, we want to still show some support. People showing us support, so we're still going to keep doing it until the bank statement is negative, probably. But yeah, see you guys next episode.